Hey guys, Dusty here. I just got back in from my first 20K run in the new Hoka Bondi X, and today I'm going to be giving you my first run impressions. Okay, so to be totally honest, I never thought I would run in a Bondi, and I certainly never thought I'd enjoy running in a Bondi. Now the Bondi X isn't technically a regular Bondi, mostly because of one major difference. The Bondi X comes with a carbon plate. So like always, in this review, we'll go over the basic specs, and then finally I'll give you my thoughts on how it felt over the course of my first run. Okay, so my men's size 8.5 weighs in at 10.5 ounces or 297 grams. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm willing to bet this is the heaviest or one of the heaviest road running shoes that also has a carbon plate in it. But we'll get to that a little later in the video. And coming in at 10.5 ounces in my size, it's actually pretty close to what the regular Bondi weighs as well. The Bondi X has a stack height of 33 in the rear, 28 in the forefoot for heel to toe drop of 5 millimeters. The upper on the shoe is very plush, soft. I had zero issues with the laces. There is that extra eyelet, so if you do experience some heel slipping, you can tie them up using the runner's knot. The tongue is gusseted, and I will say when I first put these shoes on for the first time, just looking down at them, I thought the tongue was going to be way too short. But over the course of my first 20K run, I had zero issues with the tongue actually being too short. It didn't cause any issues out there. Quite a bit of structure in the heel counter, and then inside the heel collar there's plenty of cushioning. I didn't experience any heel slipping or anything like that. I didn't have any hot spots in the shoe. And as far as the fit goes, it does fit true to size, and it is very roomy inside. I don't own the regular Bondi, but I've tried a pair on, and I think the Bondi X is going to fit even wider than the Bondi. So if you have really narrow feet, this might not work for you. I definitely recommend trying it on before you purchase them. But overall, the fit is true to size and very accommodating. And for those of you wondering, yes, the insole is removable. Now the midsole, obviously there's a lot of it. This thing is a couch for your feet. Just to compare it to another shoe that I own, this is the Asics Tarthur Zeal. It's probably one of my favorite non-plated racing flats. It weighs half as much as this Hoka Bondi X, and you can just tell the extreme differences in a really minimal road shoe versus Hoka, a Bondi X. So you're getting a ton of cushion with this shoe, and it's certainly not ultra soft. It doesn't really compare on the softness scale to other midsole foams out there like the Nike Zoom X foam or even Asics Flight Foam Blast midsole. Those are both softer than this shoe. But this is a Hoka. There's tons of midsole. Cushioning's just slightly on the firm side, but I will say in most other reviews I've watched and read on this shoe, people say that there is a break-in period and then the shoe starts to soften up. And actually, before I went for my first run, I posted a picture of this on Instagram, and someone that works for Hoka reached out to me and sent me a message, and they said, FYI, there's going to be a longer than usual break-in period with this shoe, but I feel like the general consensus is a lot of people find the shoe too firm out of the box, and then it softens up as they put a few runs in it. I'd say the cushioning was kind of right in the middle, not too soft, not too hard, but of course I'm expecting it to soften up as I put a few more runs into it. And then of course inside the midsole we have our carbon plate, and that makes this shoe ultra stiff. There is no bending the shoe or twisting it side to side, and I wouldn't say the carbon plate provides a ton of propulsion forward, but it does make the shoe very stable and really helps to promote a smooth transition through your gait cycle. Now the outsole on the shoe is just fine. You're getting plenty of rubber in the forefoot and the heel, all the high impact areas. You have a little bit of exposed midsole in the middle, but I don't think that's going to be a huge issue. It also cuts down on weight, which for a heavy shoe, that's a bonus. And there is an X carved out of the midsole kind of in the rear, and you can see the carbon plate through that X. Alright, shoe specs out of the way. What did I think of the Bondi X? So about a week or two ago, I signed up for my first race of 2022, the BMO Vancouver Marathon. I think it's May 1st. And to be honest, I bought this shoe for one reason, mostly to add another shoe into my long run rotation, building me up and getting me ready for that marathon. And for those of you wondering, other shoes in my long run rotation are the On Cloud Stratus, the Nike Invincible, and the Asics Nova Blast. I'll more than likely race in the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent, and now I've added the Bondi X into my long run rotation. So honestly, I wasn't really expecting to like this shoe. I know the Bondi sells like crazy. So many people love that shoe. I've tried it on, I've ran out in the parking lot and in running stores with it. And to be honest, I don't really like the regular Bondi. It's always felt like it's way too much shoe for me. I'm reading some other reviews on the shoe. It's very polarizing what people think. Some people say that the shoe feels like a brick on their feet. Other people say that it was way too soft to do any sort of quality running. It's definitely not way too soft. If you read that review, don't pay attention to that one. And then having the Hoka guy reach out to me, telling me, you know, there's a longer than usual break-in period. All that made me think that I probably wasn't going to like this shoe, at least not over the first few runs. And I gotta say, I love this shoe. I'm super pumped. I picked it up. It's certainly a lot of shoe. I would never race with this shoe. It's too big, too heavy, and I think it's going to have a very specific niche in my running shoe rotation. It's mostly going to be long runs that are steady or have some more quality running in them, like a tempo or even building into race pace. When I was running in this, I could certainly tell there's a lot of midsole to this shoe, but it at no time felt like a heavy shoe. So I'll be using the Bondi X for those long runs that have a bit more faster pace to them. Now the price of this shoe, it's 240 Canadian or 200 US, and it comes in at $50 more than the regular Bondi. And to be honest, for myself over one run, I really dig this shoe. But I think for a lot of people, I don't really know where and how this shoe will slide into their running shoe rotation. I think if you're already running in the Bondi, the regular Bondi, and you wanted a carbon plated shoe to go faster with, I think you could just get the Carbon X. I suppose though you could do all your easy miles in the Bondi and then use the Bondi X for more faster work like tempo and race pace, and then you could save the Carbon X for race day only. So I gotta say, I'm pumped. I picked up a pair. My expectations were very low for this shoe. And the fact that the general consensus is the shoe has a break-in period and it only gets better the more runs you put into it, that has me really excited for my future training in this shoe. So anyways, that's my review after one run. Let me get up to 100K and then I'll do my full review on the shoe to see if anything's changed. So far though, awesome shoe. Not entirely sure who the shoe is going to be best for, especially at the price point it comes in at. And if I left anything out of this review, ask me down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.